Class 12th, Subject Physics, third chapter, Kinetic Theory of Gases and Radiation. From the chapter, let us see the spectral distribution of black body radiation. Spectral distribution of black body radiation. The radiant energy emitted per unit area per unit time by a black body depends on its temperature. Hot bodies radiate electromagnetic waves or radiations in a large range of frequencies. Hence, the rate of emission per unit area or power per unit area of a surface is defined as the function of wavelength lambda of emitted radiation. At low temperature, the power radiated is small and lies in the long wavelength region. As the temperature is increased, the rate of emission increases fast. At each temperature, the radiant energy contains a mixture of different wavelengths. At higher temperature, the total energy radiated per unit time increases and the proportion of energy emitted at higher frequencies or shorter wavelengths also increases. Now here in this figure, the variation of radiant energy per unit area as a function of wavelength lambda is shown. That is, in this diagram, along y-axis, the radiant power will be plotted. Along x-axis, the wavelength of radiation lambda measured in terms of nanometer will be plotted. When these curves are plotted at different temperatures such as 3000 Kelvin, 4000 Kelvin, 5000 Kelvin as well as 5500 Kelvin, the nature of the curves are as shown. So from this curve, it is observed that when wavelength of radiation is small, the radiant power will be small. As wavelength of radiation increases, the radiant power will go on increasing. It will reach to its maximum value. That is, it will show peaks in this variation, and then as wavelength increases, again there will be fall of the radiant power. That is, the radiant power will decrease. From this figure, it is clear that the peaks of these curves are shifting towards left side as the temperature increases as well as the wavelength increases. So for higher temperatures, the peak is shifted towards the left side, that is towards the low wavelength side, and therefore from it is clear that the spectral distribution depends on the absolute temperature T of a black body and is independent of the material of that black body. Now, from this, some of the conclusions we will have to draw, and these observations, these experimental observations are as follows. At a given temperature, the energy is not uniformly distributed in the spectrum of the black body. So energy distribution is not uniform because the peaks are observed at different positions for different curves. Second, at a given temperature, the radiant power emitted initially increases with increase in wavelength, reaches to its maximum value and then decreases. The wavelength corresponding to radiation of maximum intensity, lambda max, is the characteristic of the temperature of that radiating body. So here lambda max at the peak will be shown. So it is the characteristic, it will be the characteristic of temperature of that radiating body. Third, area under the curve represents total energy emitted per unit area per unit time by the black body at all wavelengths. So area under any curve, suppose if you consider the curve for 5000 Kelvin Then this will be the curve. Then area under this curve will represent the energy radiated per unit time per unit area. Then fourth, the peak of the curve shifts towards the left, that is shorter wavelengths, that is the value of lambda max decreases with increase in temperature. Then at higher temperature, fifth point, at higher temperatures, the radiant power or energy emitted per unit area per unit time corresponding to all wavelengths increases. Sixth point, at a temperature of 300 Kelvin, that is at the room temperature, the most intense wave in this has wavelength of about 5 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter. All the radiant energy at this temperature is carried by waves longer than those corresponding to red light, and these are the infrared radiations. So all the radiant energy at this temperature is carried by waves longer than those corresponding to red light, and hence the infrared radiations will be present there. Now let us go for next point, that is Wien's displacement law. Wien's displacement law, and this law will be stated as Wien's displacement law will be stated. The statement of it is the wavelength for which emissive power of a black body is maximum is inversely proportional to absolute temperature of the black body. The wavelength for which emissive power of a black body is maximum is inversely proportional to absolute temperature of the black body. That is, mathematically it will be given as lambda max is inversely proportional to absolute temperature, and therefore lambda max is equal to B by T, where B will be that constant of proportionality, and therefore lambda max into T will be equal to constant B. So lambda max into T equal to B, where that B is called as Wien's constant, and the value of Wien's constant B equal to 2.897 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter Kelvin. So that is the Wien's displacement law. Now this law, if you consider, then it will be useful. This Wien's displacement law is useful to determine the temperatures of stars, sun, moon, etc. The temperatures will be determined of sun, moon as well as stars. Then let us go for next point, and that is Stefan-Boltzmann law. Stefan-Boltzmann law of radiation. Stefan-Boltzmann law of radiation. And let us see first of all its statement. The rate of emission of radiant energy per unit area, or the power radiated per unit area of a perfect black body, is directly proportional to fourth power of its absolute temperature. The rate of emission of radiant energy per unit area, or the power radiated per unit area of a perfect black body, is directly proportional to fourth power of its absolute temperature, and therefore this law will be given as R proportional to T raised to 4, or R is equal to sigma T raised to 4, where sigma is Stefan's constant and whose value is sigma equal to 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8 joule per meter square per second per Kelvin raised to 4, or this joule per second will be nothing but watt, and therefore its unit will be written as watt per meter square per Kelvin raised to 4. The dimensions of the sigma, that is Stephen's constant, is 0 in length, 1 in mass, -3 in time, and -4 in temperature, that is Kelvin. So these are the units and dimensions of this Stephen's constant. Now the power radiated by a perfect black body, if you consider the power radiated by a perfect black body, it will depend only on its temperature and will not depend upon the material, color, as well as nature of the surface. And now, in order to explain this law, if capital Q is the amount of radiant energy emitted in time t by a perfect black body of surface area A. If Q is the amount of radiant energy emitted in time t by a perfect black body of surface area A at temperature capital T, then we can write Q upon AT, that will be equal to R, that is equal to sigma into T raised to 4, sigma T raised to 4. So this will be the mathematical expression for this Stephen-Boltzmann law. And now for an ordinary body, the energy radiated per unit area per unit time is still proportional to 4th power of its temperature, but will be less than that of the black body. And therefore for the ordinary body, this expression will be given as, that is energy radiated per unit area per unit time is given as E sigma into T raised to 4, where E is the coefficient of emission or emissivity. Similarly, we can consider the perfect black body, and therefore when a perfect black body having absolute temperature T, if its temperature is capital T, is kept in a surroundings having a lower absolute temperature T0, that is T capital T 0, then the energy radiated per unit area per unit time, the energy radiated per unit area per unit time will be given by the relation sigma into T raised to 4. So this is for perfect black body. At the same time, the energy absorbed per unit area per unit time from the surrounding by that perfectly black body will be given as this relation, that is sigma into T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. So this above relation will represent energy radiated, that is sigma T raised to 4, and this will represent energy absorbed by that body from the surrounding, that is sigma T0 raised to 4. And therefore if you consider these relations, then from this relation we can find the net loss of energy as well as net gain of energy. And therefore net loss of energy by perfect black body per unit area per unit time will be given as, so net loss of energy for the perfect black body, that will be per unit area per unit time, will be equal to sigma T raised to 4 minus sigma T0 raised to 4. Sigma will be taken common, and therefore sigma into T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. Similarly, net loss of energy by that perfect black body, as it is given as, for perfectly black body is given as sigma into T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. Instead of that, if you consider an ordinary body, then net loss of energy for an ordinary body per unit area per unit time will be given as E sigma into T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. So this equation will represent net loss of energy for perfect black body per unit area per unit time, and this will represent net loss of energy by a ordinary body per unit area per unit time. Now suppose if the temperature of the surrounding, that is T0, is greater than the temperature of the body T, that is if T is less than T0, that is if any low temperature body is kept in a hot surrounding, at that time there will be gain of energy by that body, and therefore that gain of energy per unit area per unit time will be given as E sigma into T0 raised to 4 minus T raised to 4. So in this last case there will be gain of energy because a low temperature body is kept in a high temperature surrounding, and therefore there will be gain of energy which is given as E sigma into T0 raised to 4 minus T raised to 4. Here we have considered an ordinary body, and that's why again coefficient of emission or emissivity is considered.